Little cat's eye with Magic in the Morning, and my clock says nothing because it doesn't talk. It's 8:37 here in the kingdom. And chilly to meet the band out there Tuesday morning. Time for Good Policies with Mike Barrett. How you doing, Mike?
I am good. How are you?
I am good. Did you have any frost on your pumpkins?
I didn't have any pumpkins, so yeah. So no, I didn't have any frost in my pumpkins.
Hey, I just want to go over something here real quick. What the heck is it with people taking stuff from your office on Portland Street? I saw that video of some kid going over and taking an umbrella.
Yeah, one of our employees, it was the Friday, a couple of Fridays ago when it was rainy. She had her umbrella and obviously left it outside to dry and obviously forgot it there over the weekend. And I get an alert like on a Saturday evening that somebody's at my front door at the office. I'm like, what's going on? And yeah, we watched him take the umbrella. So I hope he stays dry. I really do.
Oh, goodness. Why would you put your entire future online for
An umbrella.
an umbrella? Eddie Hoot. Hey, let's do a quick recap. You guys had a busy weekend with Northeast Kingdom Cancer Action Network with the second annual scavenger hunt. Was it fun?
It was great. We had a great turnout. We had teams that participated that were, it was the first. I missed last year because I was away on business. So it was very exciting for me to see the people this year when they came back. They were so full of energy and excitement and just had such a great time. It was nice when you could have a fun team sport building event that can raise money, and they all did a fantastic job. So congratulations to all of them, because in my mind, they all won.
Yeah.
Fantastic group of people.
That's awesome. Second annual, too. All right, so we've had some good conversations for the years that you've been coming in, and you've actually been part of Barrett Insurance and proud owner of it for longer than you and I have been talking. Something we haven't really covered in a broad blanket kind of a conversation is there are things that insurance covers, there are things that insurance doesn't cover, and there are things that people assume insurance covers that they don't. How's that sound?
I think that sets us up for a pretty darn interesting conversation. What I find, Jeff, is that, being on the outside looking in, I did that before I got into this industry. And it's easy to throw blame or cast blame on insurance companies for so many things. And believe me, there are many times now being on the inside looking out that's the correct way. But there's many instances where insurance companies really are to blame. It's maybe an expectation that was set that's not achievable, or it was an assumption of coverage that wasn't there. So let's start with the assumption of coverage that wasn't there. Every homeowner policy has there's either a Form 1, Form 2, Form 3, or Form 5 for a traditional home. And I'm not going to get into the weeds because I'm seeing your eyes glaze over. But a Form HO4 is a renter's policy, and HO6 is a condo policy, and HO8 is an old home policy. And we could really bore the bejeebers out of everybody. But all of those forms have specific coverage that they provide. So let's go to the most common one, the Form 3, the HO3. That's what probably 90+% of the people out there have if they own their home. Those policies, just like the other homeowners, don't cover coverage for earthquake. All right? It's not built-in coverage. You have to separately buy that.
No, whoa. Okay, now I know we don't get a lot of earthquakes. And I think the last real significant one we had was about 10, 12, 13 years ago when the place I rent at, the Aquifer, got ruptured. But are you telling me that, say, somewhere like San Andreas Fault?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So if you have a homeowner policy, and most homeowner companies have earthquake coverage available. So buy an additional endorsement, you can add it to your policy. And it would have a percentage deductible versus a flat deductible, which is what you normally see on a home. But the same holds true for business owners, right? If you own your commercial building, does your commercial building automatically have earthquake coverage? No, you have to specifically buy it. And there are companies out there that don't offer it. You can also go out and buy a specific policy with a separate company just for earthquake coverage. Earthquake is just like flood. It's not built in. Now, with the difference being is that most times you can add flood by an endorsement, or not flood, earthquake by an endorsement, but you can't with flood. You have to separately purchase a specific flood policy. But there are events and losses that could occur that people don't know they don't have coverage for, but when they find out about not having coverage for is when that loss occurs. So that's the worst time to find out. So I guess what I want to kind of tee off by this conversation is You don't have to always remember, you don't have to memorize, but have a clear understanding to set clear expectations for your insurance coverage at the onset of getting that policy, whatever it may be. So if you've been with one company for 20 years, go back to that company and say, look, let's just talk about it and help me reset my mind on what I have coverage for and what I don't have coverage for.
Okay, so now we know we have to ask for special treatment for an earthquake. Let me just ask you this. In a comparison, you said that a rental in a condo have different insurance.
Yeah, those are different policy forms, and really, Jeff, all that is just stipulating, what coverages are available, right? So if we look at a regular homeowner policy, you have coverage A, which is for the structure, B, which is for other structures, C, which is personal property, and D, which is loss of use. Some companies have different numbers for those or letters for those, but most companies use A, B, C, and D. And basically, an HO4 for renters doesn't have A or B because you don't have a structure or another structure. So it starts at C, personal property. Makes sense. For a condo, it's just an overall different policy because, yes, you need to insure studs within, depending on your condo association agreement. There's always a governing law with the condo association. Are you, as the condominium owner, responsible for studs in? Or beyond that, where does your responsibility lie if a loss was to occur? Because the condo association is going to be insuring the main structure, but the contents, the bathroom, the kitchen, things like that, that's probably going to fall on you. Almost all association stipulations. So.
Okay, so I see the difference there. So it's what's within the walls as opposed to the
studs in.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, if you don't ask the questions.
Well, that's a perfect example, Jeff, right? I mean, and the reason that we love doing what we do is we love to help people understand what they are getting for coverage. I could go and talk about how a regular National Flood Insurance Program policy does not provide coverage for loss of use. That could be very surprising to somebody who suffers a flood, who owns a business, or a homeowner who loses their place to stay. You could really be exposed by not having loss of business or loss of income or a loss of rents. I mean, there's so many exposures there. So it's really an understanding of the policy. And we love telling people, look, if you ever have a question, just ask. We're happy to answer. We don't have to have a specific time-stamped meeting for you to have a question. We'll answer it.
Well, and floods have come up quite recently here over the past 2-3 years now. And one of the things that we did find is that, yes, the house itself and its belongings will be covered by your flood insurance.
Right.
But the road and the land is not.
Right. And remember, with flood insurance, you can buy coverage for the house and not contents, or you can buy coverage for contents and not house, and you can buy both. Make sure you buy both if you own your home.
Well, like my dad always said, the stupidest question's the one you never ask.
That indeed is correct.
Some are going to have at least one or two for you. Tell them how to get in touch.
So easy. Give us a call, 748-5224. You can find our office on Portland Street in St. Johnsbury. Just look for the building that does not have an umbrella in front of it. You can also find us online, thebarrettagency.com, Google, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Just look for Barrett Insurance Agency.
By the way, that security camera takes a darn good picture.
I love that thing.
All right. Good policies with Magic in the Morning. Your Hometown Minute with Beans Homes on the way. Right now it's music from Alicia Keys.